Are you shopping for a new water heater? Thinking about dumping your old tank in favor of Tankless? On the Build Show today, we're going to talk about 3 misconceptions about tankless water heaters and 3 compelling reasons why you might want to consider one. In the Build Show today, we're talking tankless water heaters. I've got 3 myths for you that are common out there about tankless water heaters. We're going to debunk those. And I'm also going to tell you 3 compelling reasons why you might want to consider one of these. So let's start with myth number 1. You know, if you were to ask the average Joe in America, why buy a tankless water heater? I think they're going to tell you savings. And you see that word written on the brochures from all the manufacturers. But I think the savings are a myth. Let's take a look at this. So first off, on this unit, they've got the energy guide front and center. I appreciate that. The government is saying for an average family, this one's going to use about $225 in propane over the course of the whole year. If you divide that by 12, we're talking about just under $19 a month in natural gas to fire this unit. Let's compare that to what the usage on a traditional tank might look like. Okay, now I got a standard tank out of the boneyard here. And let's see if we can compare. It's tough to wrestle into place. All right, now take a look at the energy guide on the front of this guy. Now this is an older model, 2010, but the energy guide on that one says $315 a year in natural gas use for an average family. So divide that by 12, we're talking about $26.25. So what's the difference in energy savings? It's about $750 a month between this unit and that unit. So if you rip that out of your house and put this in instead, you're definitely going to see some savings. But is that saving enough to really make a difference to your pocketbook? Are you really going to notice those savings? I don't know. That's why I think that's myth number 1. Myth number 2, instant hot water. You know, you often refer to these tankless hot water heaters as instant hot water heaters. And it is true, as the water comes into the unit, it instantly is converted to hot, compared to that one right there where it takes time to make hot water. That water is going to be cold at the bottom and slowly we're going to be heating the tank up if it was drained. This one is instant. However, you don't have instant hot water at your sink. Whether you've got this one at the end of the line or that one at the end of the line, you still need to turn on your tap and get all that cold water out if the water's been off before you're going to get hot at your sink. To get instant hot water, you need one of these. This is a circulation pump. Now there's a bunch of different styles on these. This one happens to be the kind that you set to a timer and you're going to circulate water through your hot loop, potentially like a hotel all the time. So when you turn on the faucet, then you're only dumping a cup or 2 of water down before it gets hot. But this is the way to get instant hot water, not one of these. And myth number 3, maintenance. You know, a lot of people say that tankless hot water heaters are maintenance free, kind of set it and forget it. And really that's not true. A tankless water heater is going to need either an annual or a biannual flush depending on your use. Now if you have soft water, meaning you have a softening system, you're not going to have to do this very often at all. In fact, maybe never. But if you've got hard water like I do, I'm in the city at my house, I need to flush mine on a regular basis. Now remember myth 1, we talked about that savings, that $7 or $8 a month you're going to save. You better put that into a bank account because once a year you're going to spend that on a plumber. It can easily be $150 to have a plumber come in and flush your system. Now I've got some videos on how to do this yourself with a kit like this so you can save some money there, but there is some manual maintenance where if you have a standard tank, there's hardly any maintenance you need to do in a tank like that. Now, we've talked on several myths. It sounds like I'm down on tankless. That's not totally true. I've put a lot of tankless in. In fact, I have one at my house. What are the compelling reasons for tankless? I think there's 3 compelling reasons for tankless. Number 1, performance. You see a lot of advertising about the luxury of a tankless hot water heater, and I think that is the biggest and most compelling reason. You have nearly limitless hot water. At my house 10 years ago, before I remodeled, I had a standard tank like that. If my wife took a long shower or bathed one of the kids and I got in the shower right afterwards, I'd invariably run out of hot. But now that I have tankless in my house, I don't have that problem anymore. There's a certain luxury that comes from that limitless hot water, and I love that about it. Number 2, space considerations. Look at the size of that standard tank. That is a beast. Whereas this guy, tiny, you can hang it in the wall, you can put it just about anywhere. very, very small footprint. And if you're in the South, you can put it on the outside of your house. I love doing that. Now I don't even have the space on the inside, and I've got no venting requirements if I put it outside. That is a huge win for a tankless hot water heater. And the last reason why I think you go tankless is lifespan. You know, if you look at the boneyard here at the supply house, there's water heaters of all ages out there, but most of those in the boneyard look like they're about 10 to 15 years old. That's really the lifespan. And in fact, this unit I found in the boneyard, that's only maybe 7 years old. It looks like it was manufactured in 2010. Whereas tankless units, they've been around a long time. This technology's from Europe and Japan. They've been around for many decades, very, very reliable. If you maintain them, a unit like this, you should get at least 20, if not more, like 25 years before you're gonna need to replace it. So you've got a very long lifespan. Guys, thanks for joining me. It was a lot of fun making today's video. Big thanks to our sponsor, More Supply, and their partner, Rheem. They make some great units at Rheem. I put a lot of those in over the years. Stay tuned for our next video. We're gonna take a deep dive next time on condensing versus non-condensing, exterior versus interior, and I'm gonna give you some recommendations on what I think is the right unit for both a remodel and a new construction situation. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.